What is happening in your dating life?
I'm actually so single right now. It's insane.
You got banned on Hinge, didn't you?
Oh, yeah.
She's like, I looked at your Instagram and every single picture, your shirt was off.
I used to date people that wouldn't challenge me.
Sometimes you're the problem too.
I hate to say it, no, but like...
You did not. That's the...
The Gents are back. Ricky, Hope, and Jed share unfiltered takes on love, dating disasters, and how to be a good partner.
Do you always pay on your first date?
Always.
Me and Chris, when I first came out Big Brother Canada, I was making absolutely no money. She held it down, if that makes sense.
While you were figuring it out, yeah.
Jade, she never expects me to pay for things, but I do. Like, she didn't grow up a 10, so she has like that personality. I grew up like ugly as well.
What about it made you decide this is my person?
Challenges you.
To this very day, she does it. And I feel like with her, it made me want to be better.
Yeah, you want that person that you know is your person. If the person's not your person, then don't waste anybody's time.
And that's what I don't agree with him on.
Why?
You don't find the person, you make the person.
I agree with you to a certain extent, and I also disagree because...
It's so easy to just be like, this one's not working out. We face some turmoil. Let me just get back on the app.
Well, my parents have been married for almost 40 years now. They were part of that generation where if it's broken, we're gonna fix it. And divorce wasn't an option.
Do you have a specific red flag that's like a hard line no?
If a girl that I saw was, I would say, maybe as open as you on social media, that would probably be a red flag for me.
I feel like an asshole in this situation, but
We find it very interesting that the majority of you who watch and listen to this show aren't yet subscribed to our channels across Spotify, Apple, YouTube. It would mean the world to us if you can do us that small kindness. It allows us to continue to bring on amazing guests week after week and continue to provide you with amazing value and content. It's the only thing we'll ever ask of you. If you can hit that follow or subscribe button, it would mean the world to us. Thank you so much and enjoy the episode. We just need to talk about your dating life, Ricky. Yeah. What is happening in your dating life?
I'm actually so single right now. It's insane.
So single. What is so single?
Yeah, what does that mean? Because I see a lot of people saying that.
I'm
so
not
single.
Or so single. Like
single.
Or single.
The thing is, I got tickets to the National Bank Open on Saturday, and I'm like, that's a great date night. Outside, watching sports, have some drinks, and it's free too. And I'm like, okay, I want to go on a date. I haven't been on a real date in months. And I'm going through my phone. I'm like, there's nobody I'm texting on a daily basis. Like, the only women I'm texting on a daily basis, like my best friend and my mom and my sister-in-law. And I was like, is there any? I'm willing to spend money. I'll fly someone out. I got no problem. There's no one I'm even talking to anywhere in the world that I could even fly out to go on a date.
Is it because you're too picky?
Yeah, but also just because
This guy's getting roasted.
I don't know if I don't know. Do you want to find somebody?
I would love to.
Do you actually want to?
Yeah, of course. I do all these fun things. How nice would it be to do it with your person? Like you and Jade go to Vegas for F1.
Right.
Or like Coachella. I would love to go to Zach Bryan with my person. That'd be so fun. Or all these crazy trips I go on, but I'm not going to do it with just anybody. Because then it's what if I meet my person on one of those trips? So give and take.
That's true.
I see.
Yeah. You guys don't know these.
I feel like it's a big what if. I feel like a lot of people live by the what ifs in a lot of situations, and that's what's holding a lot of people back from getting into relationships. Is it's kind of like a grass is greener mentality. Like, not saying that you have that, but some people are like, oh, but what if I go to this place and I meet someone else? So I don't want to settle down with this person because what if there's something better out there? Or what if you know what I mean? What if this isn't the right one? So it's how many times can someone say that before they just be like, okay, how about I just water my grass instead of thinking about what if?
Okay, and I agree with that. I dated someone earlier this year and we went on probably 4 or 5 dates. And I liked her, she was great, but it was missing something. But I kept hanging on because I was like, you know what, I should be watering my grass. I should be taking care of it and trying to grow this relationship instead of thinking about what's next or the what ifs. Mm-hmm. And then it came to the point where I was going on trips and there was no part of me that wanted to invite her on a trip. There was no part of me that wanted to take her to the Canadian Open or whatever. And it's so what am I doing at this point? Mm-hmm. And she eventually called us. She's like, look, you're just too busy and I don't feel that I'm that part of your life. So we ended and, no hard feelings. We're still friends, but yeah, you want that person that is your person. Mm-hmm. If the person's not your person, then don't waste anybody's time. At least not at our age anymore. Again, you're still a young cat, but for me, I'm 34 years old. Yeah. I'm not wasting anybody's time. I don't want to have someone have a bad taste in their mouth because of me.
So
I'll say, hey, if it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work. I'll call a spade a spade.
that last relationship that you were in, the one that you talked to me about on the pod,
Yeah.
the one that like made you and broke you.
Oh yeah.
There was a point in time where you thought that was your person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What was the thing that made them that person?
It was the spark and the intensity and how much we just clicked. It was perfect to me at that time, right? Like everything we did, we saw eye to eye. She wanted to metaphorically take over the world. I wanted to metaphorically take over the world. She was into health and wellness just like I am. Like she loved to travel just like I did. We shared a lot of like family, like morals together. A lot of what we wanted to do with our lives aligned. So there's so many things that aligned, and then obviously until they don't.
Sure.
But that doesn't mean I regret any of it. Like I was head over heels in love. I jumped 2 feet in, and I think that's what you should do. Like just because I'm single now doesn't mean that like I'm not willing to do that. I would love to do that, but I'm not going to jump in 2 feet if it's not the right person.
Hope, how long have you been in your relationship?
About to be 3 years.
3 years. What makes her the person for you?
She was not the person, and that's what I don't agree with him on. Because he's trying to find the person. I don't think you find the person. I think you make the person. Because when me and Kristen we met, I was not the man I am today. She was not the person she is today. But we worked on each other. I don't think you find deeper. I think you make the person. You figure out things that are wrong with you, things that are wrong with her. And you both realize the only way for this to work is to get rid of those parts, if that makes sense. So you don't find the person, you make the person.
It's an interesting take, yeah.
I agree with that. I think it's like my boy Giveon says it all the time. You can't have a perfect relationship because there's no perfect person. No. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I love when you say that you make it the right person for you, but it also has to be the person worth making it the right person. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to have that foundation. There was something about Kristen that you were like, okay, she's worth working on it for. You know what I mean? You may not have done that with any other girl in Toronto or wherever you guys met, right? You might be like, okay, but there was something about her. What was it about her that made her the one that you were down to change Hope for?
When I first met her, I was, in the club scene a lot. I was all over the place. I was 23. Got whispers I was gonna go on Big Brother, So I'm like, yo,
you're feeling yourself a little bit.
When I come up the show, it's not too out it's not like Love Island or anything, but about to, about to be all over King Street. But we ran into each other, and when I met her, she ghosted me after we met because she checked on my Instagram. She saw me like shirtless every single picture. She's like, yeah, that guy, like, he's gonna break my heart or something, right? Then we ran into each other a month later. And I asked her why she ghosted me. She's like, I looked at your Instagram, and every single picture, your shirt was off. That's a red flag right there. That's a red flag right there.
Yeah.
So we went on a date, and we spoke, and we had a lot of things in common. And the one thing I really appreciate about her, I really loved about her, is the fact that I had never met anybody with the same amount of energy as me. The reactions and the animated voice, and I used to be like, what did he say? And she loved that. She had her dying every time. Like, chupapi. She loved it. And I had never found someone that I knew that, hey, if we got older, I could crack some joke and would she laugh or not? That was what I was after. Me and her, we can sit down all day and absolutely like just do nothing. And we will still be like okay with each other. But the thing that really made me be like, all right, this is the one, was when we just, I don't want to say the gym or anything like that, but it's just, I could just be myself with her and I don't have to put on any filter. You know what I mean? And if it's not right, if it is right, she would help me, guide me. And like I said, I am the reason I am the man I am today is because of her. I would not become this man today. And I think this is probably the best I've ever been my whole life. It's all thanks to her. 100. Without her, I would not be the man. I would be lost. I'd be on King Street, lost.
Your shirt
still on King Street. I'd be on King Street right now.
Yeah, your shirt would be off right now.
But she made me the man I am today. And without her, Negatron, gone.
Are you worried at all that if she was not in the picture, that you don't have any solid foundation for yourself as Hope, the man?
I guess we'll never know. Yeah, I'm playing. No,
I have a reason for that, and I'll share it afterwards, but I'm curious to hear.
She exposed parts of me that were not right. Things that were like immature. The reason we're talking about, everything we're talking about right now is because of her. Because now I'm thinking future, family. What can we... So I don't think I would be the man I am today without her.
Okay.
100%. I owe it all to her.
So the reason I brought that up was because in my last relationship, she formed my foundation. And I was who I was because of how she showed up in the world. And then we broke up. And then I was lost because I had no identity outside of the relationship. And so one of the things that I've taken into this relationship, the one I have now, has been that as much as I have an identity with my partner, I have an identity as Samir by myself individually. Because as much as you can have two, you still want to make sure that there's a part of you that's just you and not tied to another human being, because for whatever reason, good or bad, anything could happen, right? So do you have that? Do you feel like you still got an independent part of you, or?
Yeah, I mean, I resonated with a lot with what Hope says, because when I met Jade, I was in the same vibe. You know, it was just after Big Brother. I had been outside a lot. When you come off the show, you were dating her when you were on the show, right? So yeah, you didn't come out single or anything. Perfect. Okay. So I came out single, and it's like you're wanting to be outside. You want to be in the streets. Like you're like every weekend you're trying to be on King Street. I was on King Street every week. And it was a lot of like external validation. Every week I looked forward to the weekend because then I could pop out and people would see me. They'd be like, oh my God, it's Jed from Big Brother, right? And it feels good, man. Like you're just man, I can't wait till I can pop out back outside, right? And then, yeah, like I met Jade, and like it just changed my whole perspective. Like she lived in Vancouver when I met her in Toronto. First of all, we're long distance straight off, like right off the bat, right? So it's like, that's unheard of already. Everyone says, you know, long distance. Yeah. And that's already one of my hot takes, is that long distance works better than close distance. Yeah.
Why?
I will say that. I think for a limited period of time, long distance is beneficial. And
I'd agree with
I think you've been in long distance.
I agree with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it like
my take after. But.
Yeah, 100%. Like it built us such a solid foundation from the very beginning, and it was a very deep connection right at the beginning because everything was talking. We FaceTimed like every day. We had deep conversations. It's not physical, right? Like I knew her for months before we even kissed. You know what I mean? Like we had been talking for months. So it's like you have to build that deep foundation, and it is built on trust. Because I could be in here in Toronto outside doing whatever I wanted and just texting her and be like, oh, I'm just at home reading a book. But I'm on, you know what I'm saying? I'm on King Street.
On King Street.
Exactly. Me and Hoper on King Street, you know what I'm saying? But, and then she could be living her own life in Vancouver and like just telling me, yeah, I'm just chilling at work, you know? So it took a lot of trust, and I don't know why we trusted each other so much, but we did. And for that reason, our trust and our relationship now is like impenetrable. Like no one even thinks, I haven't like even had a girl try to flirt with me ever since we've been together. Like people just know better, and people know better, and no one talks to her either. Like it's just like, it's just one of those things that you see and you don't want to try to touch. And I think that was built on the long distance to start. And a lot of people will be like, yeah, but like we can't be long distance forever. And I agree with that. We had an end date, you know, like we knew that she would eventually move back to Toronto. So it was okay that we'd be long distance for a short period of time, and then eventually we'd be in the same place. Some people are like, oh, he lives in Europe, I live in Canada, my family's here, his family's there. I don't see us ever coming together. I get that. Yeah. That makes sense.
Doing long distance, oh, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead.
Doing long distance is tough, but what made you like stay with it, even though like, you know, you weren't getting no physical, nothing. So what made it worth it?
It was like that feeling like you described. It's kind of like it's just like a indescribable feeling about somebody that I just knew that she was the right one right off the bat. Like I told my brother, like right off the bat, I was like, I think she's the one. Like I've always been looking for like an athletic brunette, someone I can like really focus on, someone that's like humorous. Like the first thing I saw about her was like her funny reels. She would always make these really comedic reels, and I was making funny reels at the time too. So I was like commenting on her reels, like funny jokes. Like I don't know, it was just like our banter was really good, and I was like, she's like a 10. Like, but she's also really funny because like she didn't grow up a 10, so she has like that personality. I grew up like ugly as well, so I was like, we got that cool. You know, like you're humble, but like you're pretty good looking now. And then
the banter's important.
The banter was just like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was good. It felt good from the jump, and something about it just made me want to work at it. And I was at the point in my life where I was feeling like I didn't feel great about myself because of what I was doing. I was outside so much, and like I was like just trying to seek this validation from everybody. And I was like, she made me lock in. Like she really did. I started reading like all these books. I started, you know, therapy and just listening to podcasts more and just really focusing on myself. And I think I'm a better man for it ever since. I've just gotten better ever since I met her. So
there are guys in your friend circles and your networks that are still doing the King Street route every weekend.
1,000%.
What would you say to those guys? Because right now, if they're...
I'm still like kind of on that. So like,
Yeah, I was gonna say.
let's not shoot too hard. I'm kidding. But
I'm just curious because I've got guys in my life that are single and dating, and they're like, it's the worst. They hate it. They hate every part of it. Just the fact that they got to go out on the weekends and then try and hope that something happens, and they're just searching for this connection in an endless world of opportunities and possibilities and choices and selections and dating apps, and it's just like,
I think that's
too
the
much.
problem right there. The fact that we have so many options. You know, when I started getting a little bit bigger on social media, every time I post, I knew what I was doing. I knew why I was putting out the things I was putting out. I knew what I was trying to attract. So the fact that I knew that, you know, if I put up this, you know, tonight's gonna be a good night, you know, like I know that, like, you know, if I want her and her friend, whatever, I know what I gotta put up, I know what to engage in conversation. So the fact that I have so many options makes the big problem, because now you're always gonna be, what if I meet someone, but if you completely cut yourself off and make that decision that, hey, this person is, you know, the person I'm gonna at least attempt to make something work with, and just by, you know, listening to sparks and listening to your inner desire, you're able to then, you know, create something out of it. But the fact that we have options, it fools people into think that we have forever to find a person. We don't. We're not going to be 900 years old. We're not going to be, at some point, we're going to be old, and we will not be able to do the things we want to do. So I think it's better to just, you know, cut off all the options, cut off everything, make that decision, pick your person, call it a day.
I assume you're still on dating apps?
no.
Oh, you're not?
I got banned on Hinge.
Actually?
Yeah, I think there's
Why?
because people impersonating me. I think that's the only explanation I got. I never verified myself, right? Well, people are like, I matched you on Hinge. I'm like, you did not. And they're like, yeah, I did. I'm like, you did not. But so, anyways, that's what I think. I agree with you to a certain extent, and I also disagree because
Talk to me.
with the idea of options, I think options are a good thing and they're a bad thing. They're a bad thing, just like you said, because always of the what if. Yeah. But I think I'd rather live a happy life alone and not married and not with my person than a pretty good life with a person.
Why is that?
Because right now my life is so amazing, and I'm single, and we just talked about, I'm so single. And my life is amazing. I travel the world. I'm starting new projects. I'm doing all this, like these crazy things that I never thought I'd be able to do because I'm in the right headspace. I'm so focused on my family, my friends, my career, my hobbies, and everything else. If you're not with the right person, you don't have that mental capacity to metaphorically take over the world. You're not giving everything else 100% because you're not 100%. Like right now, I'm as close to 100 as I can get. I'm filling up everyone's cup around me.
Amazing.
I'm trying to help everybody. I'm trying to do the most, and I'm traveling 100 miles an hour, and any little speed bump I get, I'm going right over it, no problem. When you're not 100% and you hit that speed bump, your life starts to crumble. And it's happened to me before. I've been with the wrong people. And probably like one of my relationships in my 20s is the reason not the reason, but one of the reasons I suffered from depression, because that was like kind of the nail in the coffin. And I always said, I will never be with the wrong person. I'd rather be happily alone the rest of my life. And, love is in so many different forms. Like you got love with your friends, love with your family, love with your career and your hobbies and all those things. And I've got so much love. It's just not that one kind of love, but I wouldn't trade all the love that I have right now for my person. If someone made me pick, hey, you can meet your person, but you got to go and live in, bumfuck nowhere, and it's just you and her the rest of your life, or you could have everything I have right now. I'm choosing everything I got right now, all day long. And that's different for other people. Some people would rather live, in Iceland, just them and their partner. I'm not one of them. I want, my friends, my family, my career, my hobbies, and everything that makes my heart full. I posted about the other night, like I got back from a fishing trip with a bunch of old construction men. That's my day job, construction. And I was in Zach Bryan. I went to a concert by myself in New York. I met so many amazing people. I went on this fishing trip and had the best time ever. And my heart, literally, I was lying in bed the other day. I'm like, my heart is so full right now. Even though I'm so single, it's insane how single I am. Yeah. And my heart is so full. And that's what I think is important. It's about like having a full life and not relying on anyone else to make you full. And I'm not saying you guys are doing that. You guys obviously have full lives too, and you as well. But you guys met your person and you knew that was your person. And I think you said it earlier, there's nobody that's perfect. And we can all agree, nobody in this world is perfect. But I'm willing to bet your girl's perfect for you. I'm willing to bet Jade's perfect for you. And I'm willing to bet your person's perfect for you. So perfect for you and perfect for me are very different
I see
things.
what you mean.
So there's no perfect person, but I do believe that everybody has a perfect person. To be honest, I believe everyone's got many perfect people.
Yeah.
There's 8 billion people on this planet. You're gonna tell me like,
Chris,
Yeah.
can't.
yeah, that's it. You're that's your person.
That's the
right?
public. That's the
This
public
weekend,
announcement.
Kristen took me over to her family's cottage for my birthday, celebration, everything like that. And coming to Canada, there's only my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister. That's it. If there's any celebration, it's just us. I went to her celebrate, and it was so beautiful because there was like 40 people that come from 2 people, and that was so beautiful because we were sitting around and we were laughing, like just dancing, and I was playing the drums and everybody was bouncing that ass, and I was like, I want this. Like, there is no way in any world where
Auntie, uncle, grandma bouncing that. Yeah.
I'm telling you, they're not old. They're mobile, man. But I saw that and I'm like, this is what I want. This is it right here. This is, fuck the money, fuck everything else. This is it right here. I don't want to be alone. So what can I do to create that? And I was around and they accepted me like family, and I'm like, yo, I will do everything in my power to get to this level. And, coming back to what you said about, when you find that person and it doesn't work out. When I met Kristen, I was broken. I was immature. But the problem was that a lot of people, when the relationship gets tough, they don't allow the relationship to work on them to become the person that's right for the relationship. Yep. When I met Kristen, I was unorganized. I had temper issues. I was just a little kid, okay? Let's just say that. I was a little kid that, I got stupid haircuts, pulling my pants down. When I met her and I met her family and everything like that, it started to change me. And I realized that this relationship is working on me, not just for me, but for me to be the right person for this relationship. And I realized that her too. It wasn't just, we're not going to have it right off the bat, but it's going to, reform us, change us, make us the right person for each other. Mm-hmm. So again, I don't know what your situation and your history is like, but for me, any guy that tells me, oh, I'm struggling or I can't find someone, I tell you like, yo, when it got tough, what did you do? Because the relationship is supposed to work on you and expose all the things that are not right about you. Because sometimes it's not just the girl. Sometimes you're the problem too.
100%.
So for me, she exposed everything that's wrong with me, and I took everything that she fixed into everything I'm doing now, and I'm doing so much better than I've been being. So, for me, after that weekend, I'm like, yo, that's what I want. That is the goal right there. I don't care about anything else. That is the goal right there. And I cannot achieve that being single. So
I think the base thing, and from what it sounds like you're saying, you found your person that's worth fighting for and that's worth changing for. I'm not saying changing in a bad way, but like evolving. Actually, that's the right word, evolving. Like, you know what I mean? You're not going to evolve and you're not going to change for someone who's not your person. You found yours, and likewise, all 3 of you guys. I've been in long-term relationships that made me want to change and made me want to be better. And, for whatever reasons, they haven't worked in the past. But if your partner's not making you better, then what's the point? If you don't want to be a better person for your person, what's the point?
And I think you should always be trying to be better for your person, not
and
just settle
too,
for yourself, but also not just settle. Like, don't just work until the point where you get into the relationship and you're like, all right, I've done the work, I'm done. I don't need to do anything more.
But I feel like a lot of people feel like they're already good. A lot of people have an ego. They feel like they don't need to be, they don't accept it. They don't allow the work to work on them. They don't allow the relationship to work on them. They'll have excuses. They'll have friends that are constantly boosting them up. Like, you're. For me, as soon as I got with Kristen, black guy, white guy, you have no idea the amount of attacks that I got from all the black girls. And stuff like that. You know what I mean?
That's huge.
But I knew that this is my relationship. This is not your relationship. Mm-hmm. So I knew that if I want this relationship to work, I have to let her, show me the things that she needs from me, and vice versa. I show her the things, and I had to take the lead and just literally but you cannot go into a relationship thinking that, you're good or, you don't need to change anything. Every man in here has something they can, develop. So for me,
that's maturity that that's maturity that not a lot of men have. And I feel like, especially in this day and age with social media, like we talked about, the options that are out there, no one's willing to work on their relationship because they can just skip to the next one. It's so easy to just be like, all right, this one's not working out. We face some turmoil.
Cooked.
Let me just get back on the app. I got 1,000 more that I can just jump to. It's like, so it's like, who is worth fighting for? It's like I don't know, it takes a certain person to bring that out of you. But a lot of people they just want to jump to the next one. Like it's like our minds these days are just so, we have no attention span.
Our generation, and we're all fairly in the same one, is very, if it's broken, I'm going to throw it away and get another one.
Yeah.
Whereas like, my parents have been married for almost 40 years now. And I've seen some fights where I'm like, there's no way they're
bouncing back.
Man, like I've seen my mom yells way too loud. So and I've seen my dad storm out of the house. I'm like, fuck man, he's going to get the milk. I don't know if he's coming back. You know what I mean? I've seen some shit.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? And I'm just like, fuck, but they were part of that generation, whereas if it's broken, we're gonna fix it. If it breaks again, we're gonna fix it again, because divorce wasn't an option.
Right.
Yeah.
Where now it's, again, like you said, that's why I say there is the bad side of the options, because now there's so many. It's broken, go get another one. Whereas in the olden days, it was broken, let's fix it, because there are no other options. This is what we're doing, right? Yeah. But on the other side with the options, I think it's a good side, because I see people settling these days. And I see people, I'm like, you're not a better person with this person. I've known you for years, and you're not a better person. So you're gonna tell me with all the options out there, you couldn't find someone who makes you better? You're gonna, and I don't like using the word settle, because when I say the word settle, it makes it sound like everyone who's in a relationship settled. No, that's not it, man. People found their person, and you're a better person, and they're a better person, and you guys together are better people. That's your fucking person. But if you're not, if your life's not going in the right direction with your person, then like, look internally, look in the mirror, or look at your relationship, because it's a huge part of you. It's the other half, right? Like, I've been in relationships too where I wasn't a better person. And that's how you know, it's like, hey, wait a second. Like, I'm not trying to do better at work. I'm not trying to better my mental health, my physical health. I'm not trying to achieve my goals. So why?
Not everyone has that mentality. I think a lot of people have the mentality of, I would rather be avoiding loneliness than to be prioritizing my happiness.
Yeah.
So I feel like, especially women, if you think about women, you get to a point in your life where, your biological age starts to become an issue when it comes to having kids, when it comes to starting your family. So if you're with someone that isn't necessarily making you the happiest, but you're like 38 years old.
And they're good enough.
They're good enough. So I might just pop out a few with this guy because I want to have a family and I don't want to restart. Yeah. Especially when
a tough one.
You know what I mean? That's when it gets
sad
tough.
Place to be.
And it's a very sad place to be.
Tough.
So I don't know.
Like it's definitely worse for women than men, especially like once you hit 30.
Yeah.
Because again, women do have biological clocks, men kind of don't. But I've always said, even in my last relationship, she was roughly my age, and we said, if this works, we'll freeze eggs. Like I don't want to rush into a relationship and rush to have kids and get married because of age. You know what? Hey, if we can't have biological kids, we can adopt. We can do secondary ways to have children, because at the end of the day, if the couple's not happy, then you're going to bring in someone into this world when you're not 100%. And I think that's honestly worse almost. Like people having kids before they're ready, or people having kids to solve a relationship.
To save them.
To save the relationship. Like, yo, don't even get a dog. Like, go to therapy. Like, spend the money on therapy. It's cheaper and it's way better for you than getting a dog or having a kid, right? So I don't know. And again, it's different for me because you guys are all in what seems like very healthy relationships, and I'm obviously not. But I've always said this: I'd rather be happy alone than pretty good with the wrong person.
Don't get it twisted. Again, my relationship could have went the other direction too.
Why?
He caught me.
That's what he's here for.
He tried to skate over that.
I was like, I have desires, right? And if I didn't chase those desires to become more than I had been being, then I feel like the relationship would have just. There was a point in my life when I came out Big Brother Canada, and I did nothing. I drank, started dabbling in a little something, and we just stayed home and we did absolutely nothing. That could have destroyed our whole relationship. I knew that path was leading to destruction, but something in me was like, yo, as a man, you have to take the lead. I know that she's not gonna, because she's just following my lead. That's when I realized that wherever I go, whatever I try to do, this girl will follow. So if I try to improve their relationship, what's she gonna do? If I wanna keep getting drunk every day and getting high, what's she gonna do? So I learned right away that like, hey, if I want this relationship to move forward or to turn into what it could be, I have to take charge and I have to become better. And as soon as I started doing that, guess what she started doing?
Same thing.
So anything that you're in, if you're not, as a man, I believe as men, women will follow. I don't care what they say. I don't care, what it is out there on social media, whatever. The man could dictate how good a relation can be, and a woman will just enhance it. That's it. So when I took that first step to improve my body, start locking in on social media, start taking care of like, my business and everything around me, guess what she started to do? She started taking care of her health. She started taking care of herself. She became more, I don't know, receptive is the word, but she was just adjusting to me. And I realized that I was adjusting to her adjustment to me. We're just kind of going vice versa. But if
feeding off each other's energy.
Feeding off each other. But if I had taken the lead and she just stood back, then yeah, I understand. I'd be like, all right, this is cooked. Let's go our separate ways. But she started working very hard to make this relationship work.
Let me ask all three of you guys, what is it about your person that made you want to, lock it down and go through the long distance and for you be a better person? And I don't know too much about your relationship, but what about it like made you decide this is my person?
You got first?
Sure. Well, for me, I think it was just like the feeling that she gave me when it came to the thought of being with her. When I first met her, I saw her as someone that was better than me. And I feel like a lot of the times in the past, I used to like date down and I used to date people that wouldn't challenge me. And I could get away with a lot of things that I was getting away with. I could get away with like maybe not pushing myself to the level that I should be, maybe not being as driven as I should have been. And I feel like with her, it made me want to be better. Every single day, I would wake up and I would literally like tell her what I was doing that day. And like, it's tough when it's nothing. You know what I'm saying? So like, it made me want to, like, okay, I'm going to the gym, I'm going for a run, I'm working on this, I'm working on that, I'm going to a shoot, I'm doing this. And it just made me feel better about being productive. And she brought that out of me.
She challenges me.
And to this very day, she does it. She challenges me and I challenge her. And like what you were saying, it's so important, especially for people that are driven like us, that your partner reciprocates that energy. Because for me, it's like, I don't know how much I'm actually inspiring her as well. So it's like, I'm like on the weekend, I went and run 25K for no reason. I don't really have to. I just do it.
Show off.
Yeah, show off. Right?
I'm trying to run 10
this guy
today.
wants to run today. This is why I can't, because, you got to keep up with me. But so it's like, I'm out here running like all these Ks, whatever. And then I get home and she's like, oh, I really didn't feel well today. It was my time of the month. But like I worked out. I did 2 different Pilates workouts because you went and worked out. I wasn't going to do it, but like you made me like want to do it. You know what I mean? And like when I'm succeeding and like I just started really investing a couple years ago for the first time in my life. And it's like now she is like, never even thought of investing. Now she started investing. Yeah. So it's things like that where it's like
you're growing together.
We're growing together, and that's what drew me to her. And I think that we just challenge and push each other. So that's what made us.
I love that.
Yeah.
When your partner does not, want to be left behind, they want to, keep building and keep up with you. I believe that is a relationship worth fighting for. Same thing with him. But for me, it was when every time that I did something I thought was mediocre, she was my biggest cheerleader. I can make the most simplest video or the most, I should come to all my camps. Oh my God, baby, that was amazing. And I act like it doesn't really get me, but like deep down I'm like, oh baby. I'm like, deep down I'm like, the fact that she can turn my little wins into like
big wins.
It makes me feel like on top of the world. And like for me, I can literally go monk more than work for 6 months, 3 months. I can go ghost off social media and I can literally be with her the whole time, and I don't need to like do anything because like I'm with her, and she will give me the that feeling you want when you post a video. She will literally be my biggest supporter. So that's when I knew that like, yo, this girl, no matter what I do, she's gonna be with me, supporting
real one.
Me. Yeah,
that's amazing. Yeah. So mine's less of a describing it in a sentence and more a story. So in 2020, right before the lockdowns, my ex-wife packed her bags, left. And for about 2 weeks, all I decided to do was get drunk, get high, go out and party and try to meet women and try to distract myself and not actually deal with any of the shit that was going on, which is what most of us do. And then the lockdowns happened and bars were closed, restaurants closed, all the sports were done. There's nowhere to go. You can't work out. You can't do anything. So I'm in my condo basically facing my demons, and I had to do that alone. And this is why I was talking about having a individual foundation is so important. Because I went through that journey by myself, and I had to learn to heal and grow and read and listen and talk and all those things. When I finally decided I was ready to start dating again, I fucking hated it. Right? Dating apps are the worst. I absolutely hated every single one of them. I wanted to be off of them. I actually deleted Tinder the day I downloaded it for the first time because I'm like, I don't want to be on this.
The man didn't even finish setting up his profile.
No, I'm not doing it.
Didn't even get to the final question. Fuck this.
But then it's the pandemic, so I'm like, I got to do it. So I downloaded it again, and we matched. I sent her a note. She didn't respond. I was like, I'm ready to delete this shit again, but I'm going to send her another message. There's just something up. I really liked her photo. Sent her another note. And she responded, she's like, sorry, I don't actually check this app. I hate it. I was like, oh, amazing. we ended up going for a walk right on Lakeshore, right by that white bridge.
Yeah.
And we spent 3 hours walking because it's lockdown still. You couldn't really do anything. And that was our first date. On our second date, I go up. She was living in Nobleton, so just north of the city. I go up to her this time, and my phone starts blowing up. Some drama with the divorce, and I'm in the middle of a divorce, mind you, and she doesn't know this. And I'm like, I can't tell her this because I'm like, I kind of like her. I don't want her to scare her off. So I'm like,
just bing, bing, bing.
Yeah. She's like,
do you need to take that?
I swear to God, she literally turned to me. She's like, do you need to get that? And I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, okay, give me 1 second. I get out of the car to take the call. And it's my former brother-in-law. And he's like, there's some new drama, blah, 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 blah. And I'm dealing with all this, and I'm staring at her sitting in the car. And I'm like, you know what? And for the first time since the split happened, I was like, I can't deal with this right now. And I hung up the phone, and I got in the car, and she's like, is everything all right? And I'm like, well, I was kind of hoping we'd make it to like date 4 or 5 before I told you all of this, because maybe you'd like me enough to stay for the whole story. Ooh. But here's what it is. I'm married, but I'm in the middle of a divorce. And here's literally everything that's happened, how it happened, where I failed, how I could have shown up better, literally all of it, unfiltered, like I'm talking to a therapist. And I turned to her and I'm like, I know this is a lot, and your house is 5 minutes from here. If you want me to drop you off and never talk again, it'd be disappointing, but I would totally understand. And she sat there for what felt like an hour, but she says was a minute. And she's like, I'll stay. And she's like, but I have a couple of questions. I'm like, ask away. And it was in that moment that I'm like, there's something special about this person. And in the middle of lawyers emailing
some movie shit.
In the middle, make some TikToks in the car after.
Well, I got it. I heard the story.
In the middle of lawyers emailing me, my anxiety was through the roof, right? Like an email would come through, I'd see his name and I'd be like, I can't, and I wouldn't do anything. She would literally take the email, she would read through it, and she'd be like, okay, hey, can you just get me this information? And I'd get it for her, and then she'd draft the email. She's like, you just need to read it and send it. And she literally helped me through that entire process.
Wow. How long have you guys been talking when...
At that point,
that's a ride or die right there.
Yeah, it is a ride or die.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
It's also like low-key, like, let me get this chick out of your life real quick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she's hoping you take the trash out so she can slide. Like, no, low-key, like, hidden agenda, though.
Mila, is that
she's
like,
you know what? I'm actually a lawyer, so...
It's funny. She actually introduced me to the lawyer I ended up using again.
What did you say?
But she, honestly, it was something, like, I had no intentions of ever getting into another relationship again. I was like, I'm done. I did the marriage thing. It didn't work. It's not for me. I'm out. I'll go out with girls, but I'm not interested in getting to know anybody. I'm done. And she challenged me, and she was like, this is how you can get through this, but you got to be better than the way you were. And she does this incredible thing of, when I'm at my highest, she keeps me humble, and when I'm at my lowest, she reminds me of what I'm capable of. And she does that literally every day, because I have the high and lows of being a fucking entrepreneur. Yeah. And it sucks on most days. And she's just like, nope, she's just even keel. And that's the best way I could describe it.
Let him cook.
No, but that's
why I married her.
But it's like what he said too. You see, like, celebrating the little ones too when you're at your worst, right? Like,
absolutely.
That's a superpower right there.
Yeah. Well, it's tough to do it sometimes on your own. Right? Like, when you're someone like you're accomplishing so much on, like, the running 25K. It's those little things where she's not congratulating on the win, but she's saying, yeah, since you went to go run, it made me do this. Like, that's to me like celebrating something.
Absolutely.
Even though it's not like, oh, congrats, you did the run you do every Sunday or whatever, right? It's those little things that make you feel like it's a win.
Yeah.
Like, making someone else do something because you did something, it's inspirational, right?
I think that's like another big thing about Jed, like, just being with someone that you love and that supports you, is like, they're the first person you want to tell everything. And I know that's like kind of cliche, but it's like,
that's true.
It's so true. It's like, when something happens, like, I'm about to go home after this and tell her exactly what we talked about. Like, when something happens to me, like, I call her, I tell her, like, that, like, just someone you want to tell, right? And Ricky, I think my question for you is, like, because Jade and I talk about this all the time, you know, if there's family drama, say there's like parental drama or something like that, at the end of the day, we always say, in like 30, 40 years, like, it's gonna be us, right? Like, unfortunately, like, our parents are not gonna be here. Like, that's why I want that person by my side who's going to be there through all of it. Like your friends are going to marry off, your friends are going to have their families. Like your siblings are going to marry off, they're going to have their families. Obviously, you're always going to be close, but like your partner is the person that's going to be with you through everything 100%. In life. So when you say like, okay, I would trade like that love for your community, what does that look like in 20 years when it's your family, like they're all off and for me, like family's so important, where I can never be with someone who didn't have the same values of family that I have, right? Like I've dated people that don't talk to their parents, and that's one thing, but they've always been very close to mine. Because again, if somebody made me, even like, let's say my ex, who I was like head over heels in love with, if she just said, choose me or your family, I'm like, I wouldn't even think about that. I'm choosing my family all day long. Because you're right, in 30, 40 years, they're not going to be here. Fuck it, I might not be here. Without my family, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be here at all. I wouldn't have made it past 25, 27. Who knows, right? Fuck it, probably wouldn't have made it past 15, 16, right? Without them. So I believe that every good relationship, family should be a huge part of it. Whether it's like the family that you end up creating, but also with your in-laws and your family. Like, having people get along with each other's family is so crucial. Because like, I could not imagine not seeing my nephew and my niece right now. Even though they're not technically my direct family, because my brother and his wife's kids, like they're like the pride. My phone screen on my phone is my little nephew, right? Like it's my pride. I couldn't imagine, my future partner not being close to my family, because it's such a huge, like integral part of my life. Like I want my kids to have a relationship with my parents and my future wife's parents, if I'm lucky enough to get there. But yeah, I think. And you're right, in 30 years, they're not going to be there, but then you'll be where they are now, having your kids and hoping that your kids and your kids' kids will still want you around, right? But you won't have kids if you don't have a partner. Yeah, but I might. You can still. Okay, well, actually, no, you're fair. I will have kids. You could. If I don't find my person, I will have kids either way. I'll have kids for sure. I want kids for sure. And I've kind of given myself... Do you want kids? Yeah. You? Yeah. Eventually. That 10? Oh, absolutely. He wants 10 kids. My man's trying to create a full football team or something. Starting lineup. Full soccer lineup here. Keep up with NBA Youngboy. But yeah, I'm gonna have kids for sure. By the time, if I'm not, hopefully I'm married by the time I'm like married with kids by 45. Yeah. But if I'm not, I'll have kids at 45. Well, I don't think on my own. He said that partner, someone that as soon as he's out of here, he has someone to go tell right away. Yeah. So when we get to that stage, when your friends are all married and everybody's got your partner, who are you gonna like turn to? I agree that friends kind of come and go. I've been very fortunate. If you take a picture, you take me and my best friends on my 21st birthday, those are the people, if I got married tomorrow, those are the people that are on the, like, standing up there with me. I've been, all my best friends, except for maybe like one, are 10 plus years long. And like some of them have had kids, and, we're obviously don't see each other as much, but I got a friend that if I pick up the phone, call him, it's like we didn't miss a beat. And I haven't seen him in 6 months almost, because he lives a little bit far away. But yeah, you got your friends. But I agree with what you said. Like when something good happens, you want to call that person. Absolutely. Like, right now, something good happens. Like, sometimes I just sit there, I'm like, fuck, I don't even know who to tell. Hey, Mom, what's up? Like, what do you got going on? You're like, Elaine. Well, that's all. Do you know what? It all depends. Like when something good happens to me in business, like, I'll call my dad, because that's kind of like my business guy. Something good happens to me on social media, I'll call like one of like my social media like good friends, just because like you want someone that understands it. When you have your person, they understand your whole life, so it's a little different. They're so intertwined. Something good happens to me, something I'll call my mom. Like it all depends on what the situation is. Usually like even I got my mom for now, and then when she's gone, that'll be a fucking tough one. But maybe then I'll be forced to find someone, right? Do you have because I feel it, even myself, I feel it, and I'm like a little bit younger than you, but do you feel that there's like a mismatch between where people your age are at in their life versus you? Like when you're living your type of lifestyle, obviously, like you're single, you're still like you're so all single. Over the place. So single. You love, you're single. You obviously love travel. You're all over the place. But I feel like a lot of people that are mid 30s have kids now, have a house like somewhere in the boonies. Work a regular job. Yeah. So do you feel like there's a lot? Like, do you feel like it's hard to go to some of your friends with stuff because they're in such a different place in their life? Because I'm gonna say an example real quick. Jade's older sister, she's 34. She has 5 sons, and she lives like in the north. Her and her husband work normal jobs, like everything. So it's like that. Imagine that was like your friend, and then you see you're in New York, you're on your fishing trip, you're doing all this cool stuff. it's like, has that happened to you where like your friends have transitioned out of this stage of life and you can't really talk to them the same anymore?
Yeah, there's obviously some situations, but that's why I think you have friends that you go to for certain situations. And again, when you have your person, like Jade can come to you instead of going to her sister sometimes because you're so part of her life. But I think, again, it's part of that support system. And like, I'm fairly open about my entire life. Like my entire life's almost on the internet at this point. So I have certain friends I'll go, yeah, literally. I'm pretty much.
Do you think that's a red flag for someone who wants to date you?
Yeah, maybe.
Do you have a specific red flag that's like a hard line no?
In somebody else?
Yeah.
Or in myself?
Well, in both. Actually, both, yeah.
I haven't thought about that in a while.
Well, I don't know. Honestly, like if I hate to say it, no, but like if a girl that I saw was, I would say maybe as open as you on social media, that would probably be a red flag for me.
I can see it.
You know what I'm saying? Just because like I feel like I've seen some girls that are. You guys probably saw this TikTok. This girl like went on TikTok and started talking shit about her date that she just went on, and like instantly she's like, "Oh my god, I just went on this date and like this guy like da 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 da." Like if I saw that, I'd be like, "Bro, like why are you talking shit about?" You know what I mean? Like I just don't like that. I don't like airing out stuff like that.
Yeah, that's fair.
And then it makes me feel like you're also not dating for real. Like you're actually you're in it for the plot, like you're in it for like the content and not for like the actual experience. So I think that. Like the oversharing with I'm not saying you overshare, but I'm saying people that do overshare.
No, I took that as beef.
Yeah, okay. I'm just saying. But no, people that do overshare on the internet, like I like to keep some things private.
Yeah.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So that's it.
I think there's, especially for people like us who do content, there's like a full-time job. I keep, like when I was dating someone a few months ago, nobody really knew about it. My ex-girlfriend.
I didn't know about it.
Yeah, me and my ex, like I didn't talk about her until post-breakup, and like we were probably about 2 months post-breakup where I knew it was over before I started sharing about it. But even then, like I don't talk about her specifically, and like some of the things you say are very open-ended, just relatable things because you want, again, as creators, it's our job to connect with people and connect with our audience, at least my specific kind of content. But yeah, I get what you're saying in terms of red flags with oversharing, because I believe the same thing. Mine is just the people that think they're better than those. Like people that they think are better than those like socially beneath them. Like I give this example all the time. I went on a date with a lawyer once, stunning, beautiful, obviously smart, you're a fucking lawyer, makes good money. And we went to a restaurant. We were having bad service that day, just tough luck, bad service. And at one point she like snapped at the waiter, and I was like, hey, like, I kind of gave her this look. And she's like, what? Like she's like, she can't just fill our water. I was like, you don't have no idea what this poor girl's going through today. Like,
Definitely red flag.
Yo, like, chill out. She's like, no, it's a fucking easy job. Like, imagine my job. I'm like, respectfully, I'm like, I don't care. Like, this poor girl, like, she could be having a really rough day. Like, maybe we don't tip her 20%. You give her 15. Fuck, like, I'm okay with that. Don't snap at this girl, right? Anyways, we didn't go on any dates after that. But yeah, that's she probably didn't want to date me either. I questioned her on it too. I felt like an asshole in the situation. But like, yeah, I don't know. That's one for me.
That's a really good one. I hate people that think they're better
so,
than
like,
people. People that think they're better than people, like especially in the social media space these days. Like,
you see it a lot.
That's why
like,
we.
you got 1 million followers.
Oh my God,
someone's got 10,000. It's like, yo,
I
shut
get
up.
that.
Social, like, followers is
Don't
not
matter,
a real
bro.
currency.
Especially with me, like I've grown a lot since January, and it's not that big of a deal.
Are you different? Like, are you a different person because of you had 10K in January, you have 65K now?
I'm
are you
the
different?
same person. So now when I look at it through that, because at first I used to think, oh, these guys are, Himothy, whatever. But from growing, I'm like, you're a human. Like you're
just the same person.
Same person with a little
shit,
bit more.
Your rates go up. That's it.
That's
like,
Literally,
your rates go up. That's the only thing that changes.
But whenever I meet people and they ask me for my social media and they follow me, they're like, whoa, like, oh, I'm like, brother, no, don't do that. Don't just, I'm following you back, whatever. But no, like, that does not change anything though. But no, I like that though. That's a red flag. The whole service treatment.
Yeah.
That's a red flag for me.
I have a question for you and then a variation of that question for the both of you. Do you always pay on your first date?
Always.
Okay.
Always.
Why?
That's how I grew up. My dad was a financial provider for my mom. My mom had 2 university degrees in Brazil. She came here. None of her degrees were useful here. She didn't speak English, had no family here. My dad provided financially for the family. My mom provided emotionally for the family.
That's amazing.
And in a perfect world, that's how I want to raise my family.
That's tough.
That being said, if my wife wants to work, she can work. She can do whatever she wants. But family to me is a priority.
Okay.
Like I want what I had for my kids, if not better. And I literally joke about this all the time. Like my wife wants to run a yoga studio that loses 10 grand a month. Babe, go and do it. I will support the hell out of that. As long as the kids like love their mother unconditionally. Even me, if they don't love me at the beginning, I'm cool with that, because as long as they love her, because that's like a mother's like primary like job. Like you give birth, like men will never understand what it's like to carry something for 9 months straight every single day, and then have to birth it and have this human rely on you. Like we will know, the best fathers in the world won't understand that feeling. So like for me, like I ideally want my future wife, or my future partner, to be the primary caregiver, and like to just make sure that these kids grow up and have everything they ever need. I don't remember a single instance growing up at any big occasion in my life where I didn't look up in the stands or look up and didn't see my mom.
That's tough.
My dad worked, so he missed some things, but my mom was always there, man. And people say, oh, you're a mama's boy. It's like, fucking right I am, man. There are people around the world that would kill to have a mother like mine. There would be people like to kill to have half the mother I had. And people would say, you're a mama's boy. It's like, yeah, fucking right I am, man. That lady
you should be a
made me
boy.
who I am.
Yeah, you should be.
And just like, my dad, I never realized how like the shit that he had to go through to put me where I am right now. And that man sacrificed so much. He sacrificed missing those hockey games and missing those whatever high school graduations or whatever they are, because he had to provide financially. And that was the agreement or whatever. That was the arrangement that my parents had, and they both did their job perfectly. I work for my dad right now. Like, what I mean? That's what I did. He's my boss right now. Right.
So we live in an economic condition or society right now where even if you make over 120K a year Canadian, you're barely scratching the surface, especially in a city like Toronto. So it's quite difficult, even when you're making great money, to pay for everything. So being in a relationship, have you had conversations about finances where you know the guy feels responsible for being the sole provider, or do you have conversations where it's like, hey, I'm responsible for this, you're responsible for that? And I ask that question because there's a lot of conversations around equality between partners, right? And women's roles expanding. But B, how there's a lot of men who feel less of a man because they're unable to provide. But again, with the consideration that we're living in very different economic times than our fathers and our fathers' fathers.
Yeah. I think it's a mature and important conversation to have when you get into a relationship. My personal relationship, money has never been something that we've fought about or has been an issue. I think it's always kind of just been like something that's understood. I've had past relationships where my partner was like super, like really, really like tied into the money. And I think it caused a huge rift between us, like down to like the dollar. Like I spent $78 at the grocery store, you owe me, you know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. Damn. And I'm like, hey, I don't think it's that serious. I like to be in the situation that I'm in right now, especially with Jade, which is why I love her, is because she never expects me to pay for things, but I do. You know, I want to pay for things. So like I will, and that makes me want to pay for things. It's the girls that expect you to pay for things when you don't. Yeah. As you should. And it's like, okay, I get that, but not for me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Jade's like very independent. She grew up, taking care of herself. And she had jobs since she was young. So she never expects anything to be paid for. So that made me want to provide for her even more, right? Because like she's not like expecting me to buy things. She's not expecting me to pay. I've been like, I pay like the extraneous bills. Like we split rent, like whatever. Like that's like the equality in our relationship. But like bills and stuff like that, like I take care of. Or if I notice she needs something, I'll just buy it. Like, she doesn't know it's coming. But I like doing those things because she never expects it. And it's always a surprise to her. Yeah. Like she'll never be like, haha, like I knew you'd get that.
And I bet you the 100th time you bought that thing for her, she's still as excited as the first time.
Super grateful, 100%. It's never changed. And that's the one thing I love about her is that she's so grateful. But yeah, I just think in this day and age, there's a lot of girls that are expectant of it. Like you go to the date and they expect you to pay. Whereas like when Jade and I went out, she was whipping out her wallet.
Yeah, I just want you to pretend. Just like,
yeah, exactly. Like at least pretend.
I'm wearing a dress.
Exactly.
I told the world I'm paying for it. Just pretend.
Exactly. I completely
It's
agree.
consideration.
Yeah.
Right? Like
sorry, one thing too. I went on one day and it was actually one of the nice things. Like a girl, after I paid, she said thank you. We were a group of us, so I paid for me and her. After she pulled me aside, grabbed my hand, looked me dead in the eye, and was like, "Hey, I just want to say like thank you, like that. I really appreciate that.
That's amazing.
Even though you said you were gonna pay for it, like I know money's not just free.
Yeah.
I really and like that little 10-second thank you
means the world.
It means so much. Even though look, she knows I'm paying for it. Like the whole world knows I'm paying for it. But that extra little, it wasn't just thanks, man. Appreciate it.
The waiter
Yeah.
knows.
Like those little things,
Yeah.
Oh man, for me, it's one of the reasons why I really focused on just producing, learn how to produce as much as possible. The age difference between me and Kristen, it's 4 years. She just finished school, so she's trying to figure out what she's gonna do. And you know, when I first came out Big Brother Canada, there was a period of time where I was making absolutely like no money, you know, and I was still trying to figure out what could I do to, you know, make some money. And at the time, I don't want to say like she took care of me, but
She held it down.
she held it down. If that
While you were
makes
figuring
sense.
it out,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? And you know, that 4 or 5 months period where I was absolutely like nothing, like I was literally like insignificant, she stayed with me and helped me keep my head up. She got out of school, you know, she's trying to get a job right now, and she's constantly like, you know, going to interviews. And you know, I am literally okay because of what she's done for me to get me here. Because I told you, without her, I would not
You're
be
not
here.
here.
So if it's up to me to literally hold it down for however long, I do not mind.
Yeah.
Because I would not be here without her.
And that's what it comes back to. It's the give and take and the ebbs and flows of a relationship
Literally.
where one day
So,
you're
yeah.
you're up, the next day you're down, and your partner helps compensate. That's why I'm a believer that it's never a 50-50 in a relationship. It's just a moving number constantly from day
100%.
to day. But gentlemen, thank you so much.
No, thank you for organizing that.
This was fun.
This is good.
Yeah, we should do another one.
Yeah.
And really do an intervention.
Maybe by Christmas time.
Gotta lock
This was actually an intervention for Ricky.
No, really, I appreciate you guys coming through and
go.
having this conversation. Let's do it again.
Let's do it.
You want
Yeah.
it. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you guys.
Let's
Thank
do
you.
it.
Thanks,
Cheers,
everybody.
guys.
Let's go.